this one's going to be a little different because rather than some kind of conclusion I already have that I just want to articulate, uh, instead I'm just orbiting around an idea. It's bothering me enough that I want to record. So basically, I find myself unable to do things without them turning into a thing, without it turning into a whole thing, you could say. Like, even this thing here, recording this, like, this should just be like a spur of the moment. And it's like, yeah, I just want to get these ideas out there, but very quickly, like, even within seconds of having the thought, it starts to build on itself in a way that is more trying to cap itself off and be sort of done in some kind of a package, in like a checklist or whatever. Like, it's turned into a whole thing that I have to do and finish properly. To me, when there's something to finish, when there's something to do, when there's something to finish, I want to do it completely and properly. Whatever that might look like, it's still. It's not like I have a system for things in general, but each thing that I'm engaging in has its own rules that become apparent to me, just depending on the vision, the idea in my head that I'm having for it. Um, yeah, and the problem is they don't really. I'm not really able to drop them. They just kind of wither if I don't do them, uh, which is most of them because I don't really have the energy for all that. At least I haven't figured out how to harness it properly. Um, some of that could be the environment. Like, it's just not the optimal environment. Um, there's often people around me. I don't like doing things when there's people near. Um, yeah, and so I've noticed I'm not really able to do much unless I feel it's building towards something. Um, even in like passive consumption or entertainment, like, I need to be doing something with that after the fact. At least that's the feeling. Um, Otherwise, I don't want to engage in it. Even though it could just be fun for its own sake, I don't really. Right now, that's like not enough for me. Um, I guess I feel when I was younger, like just as a kid, the idea of big projects was sort of this thing that I would just become able to do once I became an adult. And I'd just kind of worry about that later, and I'd just sort of mess around and engage in the things that I enjoyed. And so I guess maybe maybe I'm in some way that pressure is built up, and it's like, well, I've become the adult, but that's I didn't just magically gain the executive function to do these things. Um, yeah, and I only have so much time, so I have to get doing these things. So maybe it is just like something maladaptive, but that is just my life right now. I can't do anything unless I feel it's in building toward something. Whenever I come up with stuff on a whim, like, oh, that would be neat, it either dies immediately because I can't do anything with that, or I already have too much going on, or it's something I could feasibly do, and so it's like another thing on the pile. Like, okay, I have to do that now. I have to figure out where and when I'm gonna do that and make it happen. Um, yeah, and if it's not that, I feel not very compelled at all to engage in something. Yeah, that's basically it. Again, it's just this is not the same as the previous ones, I guess. Because it doesn't really matter, but this is supposed to be whatever I want it to be. Um, I have a hard time reminding myself of that, where just again the every it's becoming a whole thing. It's like I laid out some rules to trick myself into making these, um, but I'm forgetting what the point was, which is if I have if I feel compelled to record something, just talk it out, then I just do that. That's the point. That is the actual real point. Uh, there are no rules. It's just here I am. Yeah. Well, that's that one.